Hi guys, this is Daniel Alexander Cannon here on the Supernatural Show and on Logic Before Authority. I wanted to kind of give y'all guys an update on some weather phenomenon that's going on, and also at the very end I have a little shorter message about I need to raise some funds, unfortunately. But let's get to the weather first before I drive half of you crazy by asking for support of my work and of the show. So, what we're looking at here is the College of DuPage satellite loop, basically, okay? And you can see over here to the right, of course, we've got a tropical storm right on my doorstep, basically. And they're saying, according to the forecast, they're saying it's coming in literally right where I am. And so literally in my county is where the center of circulation is supposed to pass across, which will be right up in here, is what they're saying. Let's take a little closer look at it and see if we can determine if it's strengthening or not. So let's take a look at that real quick. And typically with strengthening, what you're going to see is a lot of bubbling on top of the storm and a lot of cloud height building, which is basically the same thing. What we've got here is in the beginning of this loop, we've got a lot of bubbling, and then it kind of drops back a little bit. It doesn't mean it won't start bubbling and building, strengthening again any minute now, literally, because it almost looks like at the very end of the loop, the bubbling starts again right there. So it looks like it's fixing to have another burst right there at the very end. And we shall see. I don't think there is a localized sector, is there? Maybe even a little tighter. Yeah, there we go. You see it kind of fades away for a moment, and then at the very end, see a little bit of a fade off, and then back to bubbling hard again. So it, if nothing else, is maintaining or maybe gaining a little strength as it moves apparently ashore here in South Carolina, right around the Georgetown County, Horry County area. Down here, I've been watching because there's some kind of interesting activity right here in the Gulf. And I know it's not that far from that tropical system, but it almost looks like there's a system trying to develop down here as well. On the radar, when you look at the radar, you can see some spinning. And we'll see if we can't take a look at that. That's the current radar on that tropical system. It's bringing showers onshore, thunderstorms onshore quite a bit right now on us here in South Carolina. It's not as easy to see right now, but there was an open-ended loop right here that was trying to see like it might be wanting to get a little bit more organized. But this portion of the loop right here is open-ended. And unless it can get more organized, it probably just will get sucked out and be gone with the rest of the storm when it goes. We shall see. I also want to take a look at the literal uh, tropical system that formed over Texas a couple of days ago and is causing major flooding. And of course, it's still raining there. This circulation just a couple of days ago was literally a circulation, a closed-ended circulation that was circulating, and apparently it's losing its strength, of course, but because it is on land, but it started on land. I mean, they've got some major flooding all in this area here in central Texas. San Antonio, the Guadalupe River is over its banks by a way lot amount. And I've been down, I was in the military and was in San Antonio at Fort Sam Houston for about 6 months one time, and ended up floating down the Guadalupe River, which is an absolutely amazing float, on floats, literally. Let's take a look at the circulative system that we've got here and see what it's looking like in motion, you might say. And another way to know if any storm really, but with a hurricane, the outer bands, if the storm is strengthening, some of the outer bands are going to have a lot of lightning in them. And there is lightning in some of these outer bands, those little white dots, as you can see right there. There is lightning there, and we could come over here and we could take a look too and see if any lightning's being picked up offshore out here. And as we can see, there are some bands that are producing lightning, as you can see right through here and a little bit out here. And we've had some lightning on shore as well. But those bands coming in with that lightning in them are a good indication of the center of the storm is trying to strengthen. Although it doesn't look like much right there, but it's a little bit more impressive when you look at it in this format, of course. A little bit more impressive. The only thing really about this storm that concerns me is where is it going to go and how long is it going to hang out? Because we know, what was it, Hurricane Helene, when it came up and went up into North Carolina, it caused a whole lot of problems. I don't think this one's going to be as serious as that, uh, but this one is scheduled to come inshore right in through here and then go up into North Carolina into the Appalachians again. And that is a little concerning. Um, for me, flooding here, it's concerning only because of my garden and things that I've got growing. I don't want them to be overwatered and destroyed. Other than that, not too concerned. But when this goes up into the mountains, and if it goes up in here and dumps a lot of moisture, we could have maybe not a repeat, but something similar to Helene, and that is not a good thing at all. Um, I've also been keeping an eye on Japan. Yeah, I do a lot of watching the weather because I understand it at a deeper level because of my understanding of how this world works and how everything is in the image of the tree. And that might not make sense to some of you at all. Now, over here in Japan, we've got, um, let's see here if I've got a better, let's see here. I had this set so it would show us this. Here we go. Let's look at this one. These are all of the earthquakes, basically today. Okay. In Japan, the bigger ones are popping off down here. They're like threes, fours, and fives in that area. Nothing bigger than that today yet. You know, you guys probably heard they were predicting, Japan was going to get a massive earthquake and tsunami and all that today. And I pray that does not happen. It is still July the 5th in Japan right now. So hopefully everything stays safe over there. These are the buoys in Japan, around South Korea and others in the area. Of course, not a lot of them around Japan. That's at least on this map. Maybe they have them. I just don't have access to them. But I don't see any buoy activity going on alert or anything like that. So that's still good news. Good news for those guys. Um, Probably the most anomalous thing that I've seen. This storm, well, two things. This storm formed down here and came across Florida and then puffed up. but it formed right when they were right after there was a big radar pulse return right out here in the Gulf. Then why they want to just create a tropical storm and go up here and just rain and cause no problems, I don't know. Unless this goes into North Carolina, into the Appalachians again. If that happens, which is where it's headed right now, if that happens and there's a major flooding event up there, then we're going to know why they maybe created this storm. The one in Texas is just as bad. I mean, they're already completely flooded out. It's just really, really bad in different parts of Texas right now. Hopefully you're listening and you're not in that area of Texas, because I know it's bad, guys. Pray for y'all guys and hope that everything dries up soon, because they literally, whether it was natural or supernatural or man-made, y'all guys literally had a tropical storm form over your state. And that is, I've seen some come pretty close before, but not as close as that one, that's for sure. Lastly, guys, like I mentioned earlier, a couple of things. One, we are now accepting reservations or pre-reservations for the Angel Cruise. So keep that in mind if you haven't noticed. That is active. I've updated the website in a number of different ways and going to be doing a lot of improvements like I am with the show itself. And I mentioned in the beginning that I wanted to see if I could get a little assistance. There's things I need, like to be able to go grocery shopping and some things. And I unfortunately have used up all the bread that I was allotted about a month and a half ago. And need a little another injection of love or bread, you might say. So here I am peering back into the well looking for water. So there's a button on here called Donate Options. You can come on the website, or you can look below this video, and the links will be below the video in the More section. But if you come on here, it will show you a lot of various options that you have to be able to send a donation to me or anyone involved in the show. All their links are here, okay? And there's also a mailing address as well down here for sending mail if you prefer to do it that way. And there's also an option here where you can choose if you'd like to donate a few dollars on a weekly or a monthly basis, and where it just goes on a normal pattern to support, because the one-time donations, they're very nice and I greatly appreciate them. But then it makes where I have to come back and ask for y'all guys' help again. And my whole goal is to try to get to a point to where I do not have to do that. There's just enough support coming in from various places on a monthly basis that keeps me from having to do that. There is some that comes in already like that. It's just not enough to be able to make it through a complete month. So anyways, if you can help, I greatly appreciate it. There's no dire emergency at the moment, other than there's just things that's got to be taken care of. And I appreciate it. I love you. And we'll see you on Monday. We've got a lot of improvements still coming to the show. I think you'll start noticing those changes and improvements pretty rapidly now. So with that said, we'll talk to y'all guys here again. Worst case, Monday around 2:30, somewhere's in there. Talk to you later. Bye.